Bob's Barbecue here. Let me move some stuff out from underneath here just in case. We're going to fire up the Pit Boss Pro Series 1600 Elite PSE and see if we got good sealage on our ash box, our burn pot. God, can't even say it. So, nice, cool evening here in Northeast Texas, about 68 degrees. Boy, it sure feels better than the 105, 110 degree days we've been having. I'll be so glad to get a cook in on this nice pit here. Starting to see smoke already. That's one thing I can say about this Elite PSE. It literally takes 10 to 15 seconds. Well, let's see. I started the video about 1 minute ago, so less than 1 minute, we're starting to see the ignition and be closing the lid here in a minute. And let's see, what do we got it set for? 150. Let's see here. Let's set it for 225. All right. I'm sure thankful for Pit Boss support. I was a little bit discouraged in the beginning. I've never had anything but primarily high-end pellet grills. I've had some other Camp Chefs and Traegers, but I really miss my pits and spits. Just top quality. You can't go wrong with the pits and spits. But due to some I hate to show you this, but yeah, we're doing some stuff back here on the patio, and it looks horrible. But you know, it just had to go. That's all I can say. And so I've got this one now, and we're gonna get it going. And this other one here is leaving tomorrow. I love my grills. I mean, hey, that's the name of this channel, Bob's Barbecue. I had a barbecue restaurant for many years, and I love my barbecue as well as most Texans do. So we're expecting the fan should be, this thing is so quiet with the DC motors that, you know, it's got a DC fan motor, a DC igniter, a DC auger motor. You literally don't hear anything until the fan kicks in, which should be happening pretty much any second now. You should hear the fan. The fire's already ignited. I can tell by the temperature, but the fan hasn't really kicked on yet. But it should be kicking on any second now. There it goes. There's the fan. So we're gonna close the lid. It's funny because as soon as the fan kicked on, it actually cooled down the temperature. But yeah, they'll start coming back up. This is a very well-built grill. I have my little gripes about, you know, some of the craftsmanship of the lid. The legs were very well-built, very sturdy. The instructions were good. The bottom shelf is good. Very few negatives. I just wish they paid a little more attention to small details. It is a double wall insulated grill. Had my little pet peeves about the lid, but as long as the thing will hold the heat and as long as the gasket holds that little bit of a bulge in there, probably won't bother me. As long as everything else works okay. I haven't seen any embers flying yet, so maybe the burn pot, changing that out, maybe that did the trick. We're climbing temperature fast. One of the nice things about an all DC powered pellet grill is it can vary the speed of the fan, it can vary the speed of the auger, it can vary the speed of the did I say the fan, the auger? Yeah, basically those two items. It can pulse, it can change the speed, and a good controller can take advantage of all those two things to help maintain your temperature, provide you with the best amount of smoke. Unlike other more traditional PID controllers, where they do sense the temperature and they do alter the algorithm accordingly, but they're still based on an on and off time schedule. So the DC motors, you can vary the speed of the fan, you can pulse the auger, you can vary the speed of the auger as well as the fan. So that is something that is unique with the DC controls. We're just about 10 degrees away from being to our set point, and we're right at 10 minutes. So I'm assuming the igniter, we're just under 10 minutes. I'm assuming the igniter is got about, I don't know if it's done by temperature or by time. I'm assuming it's maybe by time, but it's back on again, the igniter is. So I don't know exactly how that algorithm works on that. I'd like to know more about that. I'm an engineering nerd, so I've got a background in programming PID stuff, so stuff like that interests me, where it may not most people, but I do find it pretty interesting as to what they're doing. I did commercial controls for heating applications, and we always use PID controllers, so it's kind of interesting to see at 194 degrees the igniter coming on. I would have thought no way the igniter would come on at that temperature, just, you know, if I was programming it. But anyway, that's just what I would think. But if the fire's already lit, I don't see any reason for the igniter to be coming back on, but maybe it helps to bring it up to temperature quicker. And we are getting there close to 200 degrees in a total of 11 minutes, so fairly quick from, you know, a 60-degree startup. The other thing that I might add is these are very, very old pellets. They still look okay, but, you know, looks is just one thing. But I guarantee you these pellets are probably 9 to 10 months old, maybe even getting close to a year old. And I had them left in a bag. I just was out here messing around, didn't want to break open a new bag, so I used up what I had. It's lumberjack, char hickory, definitely not fresh by any means, but they're still working. I'll definitely say that this new controller is approaching the set point at a more measured pace instead of just really overshooting it. The one thing that I've just noticed here, observation wise, this is only the second time that I've started it up with this new controller, is that the hot rod is coming on and off. It just came on just right now at 210 degrees with a set point at 225. So there is something in the programming that is allowing the igniter to come on to try to help maintain the temperature. So my guess is, because, you know, with PID controllers, as I'm accustomed to in the industrial environment, you can have multiple factors that affect. You can have time, temperature. In this case, you got fan, auger, and the hot rod, and all of those can be influenced by the PID controller. So if the temperature is not quite getting up, to where they can reignite the igniter to help it along. This is probably one of the first that I've ever seen do that. It may not be the only one, but it's one of the first that I've ever seen where they've ever actually pulsed the igniter. Usually, most traditional, like other grills, the igniter runs on a time cycle and temperature and time, but usually once your temperature gets above around 140-ish degrees, the igniter turns off, your fire's lit, there's no need for it to come back on unless your temperature falls below a certain point, like you have a flame out condition for a certain period of time, then it might reignite in that scenario. But there's no real need for igniter to come on when you're within 10 degrees of your set point. But that could be a feature that this controller is utilizing, all three. You got your fan, your auger, and your igniter. It can utilize all three of them and vary them as needed to reach the set point temperature. And we're getting there. We're within 3 degrees now, approximately, of being at the set point. And I just touched the screen just to turn off the screensaver. This one does have the touch screen. Not gonna be easy to see smoke out here in the nighttime, not with the way I've got it, a light set up. We have officially hit the set point within 18 minutes total. Not too bad. I've seen faster. Maybe some fresher pellets might knock that down to, 15, 16 minutes. Who knows? I'm seeing some smoke. I'm smelling it too. Let's make sure I don't know if I'm in PID mode or smoke mode. Let's see. I'm in PID mode. It's holding pretty steady. Right on 225. I have not seen no burning embers falling onto the shelf. It's a little dusty down there, but nothing like we had in the last video where we had literally burning embers falling. So that's a good thing. Well, we're at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this video off, and stay tuned for more 1600 Pro Series Elite PSE videos. I know as I was searching through the internet, there's Elite videos, but there are some things that are just specific to certain grills, and this is one of them. This is their latest and greatest. If you want to know more, follow along, and we'll catch you on the next one.